Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold through their father. To you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. Right? This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson. And as you can see, this thing says St. Paul visit St. Peter, which, you know, of course, obviously, they had to make Paul be a black man because it specified that someone thought that he was an Egyptian. Well, if they thought he was Egyptian, he would probably be even darker than that. So, you know, they kind of wanted to leave a little bit of room for, you know, but as you can see, it looks like he got an afro, you know what I mean, a thick beard. And then somehow they want to make St. Peter be an Edomite still. But, yeah, see right here, you can see where it's more, nah, even right there, I guess they're trying to lighten them up a little bit. Right? Still kind of leave room where it looks like maybe he's an Ishmaelite or something. Right? But they confused him for an Egyptian. We know the Egyptians are very dark-skinned people, man. They're tall. Those Sudanese people are actually the Egyptians. Right? But the main thing of this thing is, you know, the Lord sent me on a course where, you know, I'm actually working at a prison. And I ended up speaking to one of the prisoners, and he said his father was a so-called black man, and his mother is, you know, she's Japhetic. She's from Hawaii, right? She's so, and I started breaking down a couple, you know, scriptures and things, and it reminded me of, you know, the Lord speaking about the prisons and going to the prison houses, proclaiming the gospel, right? Yeah, so I'm going to start right here, Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born, right? And that child is Yahweh Shai. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, right? Because he's the ruler, right? The government, right? And that government is the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, right? The entire Bible, the volume of the book. It says, and his name shall be called Wonderful, right? Counselor, right? Because he's an intercessor. Yeah, he's the intercessor between us and the Most High. So he's a counselor. The mighty God, right? So he is a God, but he's not the God. He's not the Most High. It says, the everlasting Father. So a lot of people get that all twisted because it says everlasting Father. So, oh no, see, he's the Father too. Also, no, he's not the Father. The Father and the Son are separate. But he also is a Father to us too. Why? Because he's He was Isaac, right? And he was Solomon, right? So that's why he's also a father. And not to mention he's the first spirit created. The Prince of Peace, which is talking about Yahweh Shai. And to go ahead and prove to you that it's talking about Yahweh Shai and it's not talking about the Most High, right? Right here, Isaiah 9 and 6. And we'll go to that part where it says God, right? Because you think, oh, so he could say God. He's God, the mighty God, right?
Strong's H410.
El. God like one. He's like God because he's the Son of God. Mighty one. See? That's where he's mighty at. He's like God. He's mighty, a mighty God. Not the God, not the Most High, but he is a God. Right? A mighty man, mighty men, right? Men of rank. Yeah, because the Lord has rank. Right? He is the head of the church. He has rank. A mighty hero, right? Because technically, that's what the Lord's coming to do for the elect. You know, simultaneously as the missiles are hitting America, he's picking up the elect like a hero, dramatically, right? The righteous shall scarcely be saved, right? Dramatic, like a hero, right? Then it's right there, and they tell you angels. So angels are gods, right? And so is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was the first angel, right? Whether you believe it or not, accept it or not, right? So, because the Lord made good angels and bad angels, because they all work for the Most High. Saying God, false gods, demons, right? Right? Because they all work for the Most High. The good side, the good angels, what you just say angels, but then you got the demonic angels, right? And they all work for the Most High. Yeah, so as you can see, angels, because when you go into the beginning in Genesis, it'll tell you that that's angels too, right? Because God created. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just to come back right here, just to prove the point real quick. As Genesis 1 and 1 said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Strong's H430, entry 1. Eloach.
Yeah.
Second entry.
Elohim.
Elohim.
Eloha.
And the third entry.
Or Elohim.
Eloah.
Eloah. Or Elohim. Or which in the Paleo Hebrew, Elohim, right? Elohim, rulers, judges, divine ones, angels. That's who created the earth, okay? Which is Yahweh Shai and the other angels. So like I'm saying, mighty God or angel, the everlasting Father, yeah, he's a father, right? Isaac, Solomon, his father. It says the Prince of Peace, right? A prince is the son of a king, so that's what makes him a prince, right? So he's not the Most High, but he is Yahushua. It says of the increase of his government, right? Because the Lord is increasing his rulership, right? Because right now the Lord allowed the wicked to rule, right, or to be a steward in this world, but the Lord is quickly increasing, starting with the elect, right, bringing the elect back, bringing back those other angels, right, increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end, right? So once his government is established, there's going to be no end to the Lord's government, right? Every other nation ruled, failed. Even the Israelites ruled. You had to fail, but the Lord was going to always bring it around because it was always meant to be that you rule forever. The Lord said that He will not. He have started a good work that He will not finish until it's done. The good work was what? When we were in the garden and everything was perfect. So the Lord's going to make the world back into the Garden of Eden, basically, right? With the Israelites or the sons of God ruling again, right? Yasha Allah, He Prince of Power, or He Prince of God, right? Ruling again, or sons of God ruling once again. So it says, upon the throne of David, right? Because the Lord said the David's throne should be what? Forever. That's a promise that the Lord had, right? And King David will be back ruling upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it, right? With judgment, right? Because there's no judgment in this world. And with justice, right? Because there's no true justice in this world. From henceforth, even forever, right? And like I said, there's no end to this kingdom. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts, which means armies, will perform this. So the Most High is going to make sure that everything, His host is going to perform this, which are the angels, are going to perform this. Oh, and the missiles, and the wild beasts. Everything is really the Lord's angels, or a host or armies, because the Lord, He controls everything, the Most High. Yeah, so this is Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generations of Yahushai Hamashiach, right? Because we know the letter J is only 4,500 years old. It's a newly created word. Plus, this is all Greek. This was all in Hebrew at one point in time. Right. So it says the son of David, right? Who's the son of David? Solomon, which is proving that the Lord that it saying that He's a father, right? So when was He a father? He was son of David, which is Solomon, which Solomon had children. His children had children going all the way down, and these all Israelites. And the son of Isaac, right? I mean the son of Abraham, which is Isaac, Salakia. And the son of Abraham, which is Isaac, which Isaac is the father of what? Jacob, right? So proving that Yahushai was also Solomon, and he was also Isaac, right? Yeah, this is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 18. And for Hamashiach also had once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, right? The Lord was in this particular lifetime that He lived, right? Because it's reincarnation. This particular lifetime, He's he was perfect, without sin, right? So he was just. He gave up his life as being a just man for the unjust, right? You Israelites, all of us really, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, all of us were unjust, that he might bring us to the Most High, which is Yahweh, the Most High, being put to death in the flesh, right? So he came in sinful flesh, or like unto sinful flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, right? The Lord brought him back from the dead, right? By which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison, right? So the Lord is also about speaking to the spirits that's in prison. So to get to my point of what I was saying is, I was talking to a brother, talking to a guy in prison, but realized he was a brother. And I started talking to him about certain things, and then he was saying, "Oh my God, that makes sense." He even brought up Revelations 2:2-9. I know thy works and poverty, but thou art rich. And I was like, yeah. He said, oh, and then it started. There were things that were clicking to him, right? So, I mean, Lord willing, that's what I'm there for. Because, I didn't really want to work at no prison, which sometime were disobedient when one wants the suffering of the Most High waited in the days of Noah, right? Because the Lord had long suffering patience. Why the things that were going on in Noah's time, but the Lord said that these last days shall be like the days of Noah. So that means the Lord is also long suffering once again. Why he's building the elect? He's not building the ark, but spiritually is building the ark. By building up the elect, by building up the tabernacle of David, the third temple. Because we're the actual third temple. While the ark was a preparing, right? See, that ark was a preparing. While the ark was being prepared, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is 8 souls, like it 8 souls were saved by water, right? So at that first saving, the Lord only saved 8 souls through the flood, man. The like figure whereunto the like figure. So similar. This is how this world is going to end again. So now the Lord is speaking to the prisoners, man. He's speaking to all of us, because really all of us are in prison, but there's some people that's in prison. They're actually bound behind bars, right? So it says, the like figure whereunto even baptism doeth also now save us, right? Through the washing of the water by the word, not the putting away of the filthy flesh, but the answer of good conscience. See, it's your conscience. You gotta wash the filthiness away by the washing of the word, that gets into where your conscience towards the Most High by the resurrection of Yahushai Hamashiach, and who is gone into heaven and is on the right hand of the Most High, angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him, right? Because he's getting put back into his, his glory, his natural state of being on the right hand of the Father, of being the one with rank. It says the highest ranking angel is Yahushai, right? Yeah, but I was speaking to the brother, and he understood he was like, oh yeah, so that's why in Revelation 2:9 it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I was like, yeah, bro, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, right, and are not, right? Because there's a particular people that's upon the earth right now. The Bible's not a fictitious book. And see, and a lot of people say they believe in God, but they believe in God fictitiously, man. Right? Everything's spiritual, and some things you can't touch. And this is a spiritual thing, but there's actual literal things, because this thing is literal. It's dealing with a literal family who the Lord said to Abraham, I'm going to bless your seed. See, it has to really deal with the literal sons of God, all the way from the beginning when the Lord created the earth, that those sons of God was supposed to rule the world then, and through the regeneration, he's going to make those same people rule at the end forever, right? So that's what this is all about. So it says, them that which say blasphemy, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And the brother understood that, which is beautiful. For fear none of these things, right? Because Esau Edom is ruling, man. The self-proclaimed so-called white man is ruling at this time. The Lord let all these heathens rule. He gave them their opportunity, right? Fear none of these things which thus shall suffer, right? It had to happen. Behold, which means look, pay attention. The devil, right, which is the accuser, shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, right? Because all of us have to be tried. All of us have to be. You're gonna be tossed in concentration camps. Some people are already in concentration camps. That's what a prison is. So it's crazy that the Lord allowed me to work in a place like that, and then I was able to talk to the brother. So it says, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which is completion. It could be 10, it could be 100, it could be 300. Who knows what it's really actually going to be? But it's a completion amount of time. But thus be thus faithful unto death, right? Because hey, you might just be there long enough to die, right? And I will give thee a crown of life, right? And that's ultimately what the Lord is doing, right? Yeah, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10 says, never trust thy enemy, right? So you never trust Esau Edom. You never trust the self-proclaimed so-called white man. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, right? Through though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, be aware of him, right? These are ones saying that they're Jews, but they're not, right? Satan transformed himself into an angel of light, right? And now people can't think they can't do no wrong, right? Or whatever. Though they're the ones who's going around the world murdering everybody, killing everybody, getting all the money, making you pay, make you strain, but somehow they have made you to believe that the so-called black, starting with the so-called black man, Hispanic and Native Indian are the worst people on the planet. But the main one is the so-called black man. He's the worst person on the planet, right? Right? This is what he made you believe. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, take good heed and be aware of him, and thus shall be unto him as if thus has wiped a looking glass. Right? You kind of cleaning it. See, your glass is dirty. You can't see through it at first, so you kind of wiping away. And the more you wipe away, the more you're able to see through the glass, right? And thus shall know that his rust have not all together wiped away. Wait a minute. I see you, right? It's Ecclesiastes chapter 13, verse 11. It says, affect not to be made equal with him, right? So you can't be sitting around like you're this and that, hobnobbing with the so-called white man. This is why the thing with the, let's get into the political thing, and if we can get other so-called black people in these political things, maybe we can make a difference if we could pass these laws. But that hasn't worked, right? In talking, but believe not his many words, right? He's going to tell you a bunch of things, right? For with much communication with him, tempt thee, and smiling upon thee, while getting out thy secrets, right? Because what the devil does a diligent search, right? Searching for iniquities, man. Right? Because he knows the Lord said if thou put thy hand to evil as an Israelite, that's how you get got. That's how you get put in those prisons. But cruelly he will lay up thy words. So everything you're saying, right? Even these, like, they doing all these rap things. They're laying up the words of your rap, right? When it's supposed to be just entertainment. But they'll take you to court. Well, he's rapping about this in court. They'll lay up your words. You know, you're mad, you're angry, you know. Black people used to say it all the time, man. I'll blow this motherfucker up. But they ain't talking about actually blowing it up. They just talking about they'll get the fighting us, you know what I mean? They'll act the fool, make, you know what I mean, start yelling, draw attention or something. They ain't talking about actually, but they'll lay up your words against you. And will not spare to do thee harm and to put thee into prison. Yeah, you know, man, I've been out here hustling. I'm a big G. I'm a big this and that. Hey, he'll lay up your words against you, man. That's why what they say, real G's move in silence. You know what I mean? You don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is Psalm 64 and 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner, right? That's the self-proclaimed so-called white man, to the T, right? They commune of laying snares, right? Your words up, or things that you're doing in the hood. They basically put the crack, the cocaine, put you in a stressful society and an environment, and now they're laying upon these things. They laying upon snares, things so you can look bad, privily. They say, who shall see them, right? Who gonna see them bringing in the drugs and this and that? And if you do find out, like the Freeway Rick Ross thing, even though you found out, somehow the so-called is still the most wicked person, and it's still a nothing and a nobody, right? You know what I mean? They search out iniquities, right? Because ultimately, that's what happens, man. For you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you have to stay away from iniquities. Not that we don't sin, we fall short, but we're quickly to repent and get back on the right track. You fall, repent, get back on the right track. But a lot of you is just, I'm a thug, I'm a drug, I'm this and that, and you continue, and you may do one or two good things, but the majority of your mindset is to always be wicked. They establish a diligent search, and that's what Esau's done. What you think the police is there for? What do you think the FBI is? They've been establishing diligent search, but not just that. They've been studying you. They know what things trigger you, right? Different foods, drinks, alcohol, right? What do you think they're putting? You go to certain neighborhoods, you go to these upper class neighborhoods, and you don't see St. Ides. You don't see Old English in that store, right? You don't see the $2 whiskey or whatever in their store. You only go towards the hoods, and that's where you see that. Right across the street is a gun store, right? So these are the things that you see, right? Both the inward thoughts, right? See? Of every one of them, and the heart, right? Heart, lob. Oh, I spoke to the brother that said that I let him know that heart actually means mind. He was like, oh, wow, that makes sense. Yeah. The heart intent is deep, man. The hatred that they have for you is deep. Their thoughts and intents of hating you, they run deep, man. Yeah, so, Esau does a diligent search. He's wiser than Daniel, right? He'll lay your words upon you. He'll put words and lay up snares for you, right? But ultimately, that's really all due to what you do, right? For the rod of the wicked, right? Because they're in their rulership. They're ruling right now, right? And that's what that rod is set up for. Shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. So it's not going to rest upon you. Though we're in this wicked world and things go on, when they put their hand, it ain't gonna just stand. Why? Because the Lord, he'll protect you, right? Or if you go through something, the Lord, he got a way out of it, man. Or he got a way that you will make it through. Or there's a purpose. You may not see it at the time, the point in time, but you faith, trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and you will see the what the Lord was actually doing, because He knows all things. Unless the righteous, right, which are you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you're technically are meant to be the righteous, but a lot of you, what?
you're out there committing crimes, doing wickedness, going to prison, right? Put forth thy hands to do iniquity, right? So then you're putting your hands forth to do iniquity, right? But the Lord will set up a way that someone would come and minister to you. Someone will come and teach you the Bible according to His will, right? You know? Yeah, Psalms 125:4. Do good, O Yahweh, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their heart, which lob in your mind. See, you got to have a clear conscience in your mind. As for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways. So you Israelites who go about in your crooked ways, the Lord ain't dealing with that. That's why the Lord allowed the so-called white man to put us in captivity, man. Right? But the Lord's ultimately going to destroy the so-called white man too. Yahweh shall lead them forth with the works of iniquity, right? So go ahead and be in your sins, right along with the so-called white man. But peace shall be upon Israel. See, not the whole world. The Lord's not dealing with the whole world, but peace shall be unto what? Unto Israel, unto Yasha Allah. It's not, the Lord's not dealing with all the whole world. He's not even dealing with all of Israel right now. So, you know, the Lord allowed the so-called white man to conquer us. And so the Lord says, hey, though the Lord gave you the bread of adversity, right? We have to go through many different things, different adversities. You got to be 3 or 4 times better than the so-called white man just to have a job. A lot of times, you got to work harder than the next person to even go to even get anything, right? That's adversity. And the water of affliction, right? We went through slavery. You get racially profiled, right? Afflictions. Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, right? Though you in the ghettos, the barrios, the reservations, you often to wherever, you often a prison, your teacher's not going to be removed anymore. But thy eyes shall see thy teachers, man, right? And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way. And hopefully that voice that he hearing is Yahweh Shai, and hopefully he's hearing that voice. This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. This is the way. You go left, you go right, you move over here, you move over there, or you end up in prison. This is the way. Walk ye in it. Matter of fact, the brother was actually, even when I spoke about this part to him, he actually knew about the kind of like the thing, the conscience of the Lord knocking at the, when I told him about the heart, the lob, the mind, he was saying that that makes sense about when the Lord comes to your mind, right? In Revelation. Matter of fact, let me get it.